Welcome back, beekeepers. Hope you're having a great day. Long time no see. We're going to be doing a little bit of a different video today. As you can see, we're going to talk about crazy pieces again. It's been about 2 or 3 years since I talked about them, and that was when Logan broke his leg, and they took an extended amount of time to get him the help he needed, and a lot of people were upset about that. People are so upset about what they did recently that there's like a war going on Reddit about this situation that I'm going to talk to you about today. So when I talked about them before, I didn't show the video because it had all the kids' faces on it, and it was just a really messed up situation. And I try not to show the kids because it's like you're re-exploiting the exploited kids situation. I'm not going to be able to cover up the kids' faces in this video. I am not monetized on this channel, so no, I'm not getting monetary gains for doing this video. This is just me getting out my thoughts, okay? Okay. So this is the video that they put out, and it is titled, Hard Part of Foster Care, Going to Michigan. If you do not know, there is a situation going on with their adopted in our hearts daughter, Jamie. Jamie is the biological mother of their youngest daughter, Aurora. And we know these things because Crazy Pieces have told us on their vlogs, okay? So everything that I say is because I've learned it on their vlogs. Yes, I was a person who watched Crazy Pieces, and I did help with the exploitation of children. I've stopped. So a lot of my information is from verified viewers who are on Reddit, and I gather information also from other YouTube pages. So I normally don't watch these videos. I did watch this one. I had it downloaded. So this video is 19 minutes long, but oh boy, there's a lot of mistakes in this video. Jamie has a situation going on in her life. It's a personal situation with her bio dad. Her bio dad lives in Michigan, and he's made some bad life decisions, and he is in jail. And we didn't have to know that, okay? Like, no one would have known that other than the fact that they tell us in this video. And they tell us in this video, we're not going to tell you what happened, or we're not going to tell you what's going on. But then they tell you that he's in jail, and he's probably going to be there for the rest of his life. So yes, you did. You told Jamie and Melinda's story. Melinda is also involved in this because that is Jamie's biological sister. So they say that, well, Jamie and Melinda can talk about this, but we're going to talk about it for them. So that's why people are upset. To the point, people are so upset that they were deleting comments, and it was proven that they were deleting comments because people on Reddit would leave a comment and then they would show it's deleted. Now the comments are turned off completely. They did a couple of uploads after this, I think 2 uploads since this video is dropped. However, they have not uploaded since. Now, it's been like 2 days, but normally they are scheduled through the week and they pretty much post every day. So it's very interesting that they are not uploading right now. Also, there is a side note that Alex, their oldest son, is receiving a lot of issues right now, or a lot of scrutiny, because he is scheduled to go into court. I knew this through Reddit, and unfortunately, this is a situation where you don't want the world to know your situations, but you still share enough that people can look this up. So we know that we can just Google their names, and we can find out that Alex is in court, and so is his current girlfriend. And you can see that his girlfriend's at least in court for domestic violence. So we're not sure what Alex is in for exactly, but it'll be online soon enough. We'll find out. And that's just a shame that these kids' personal lives is everywhere, and no one can have a secret in this family. Also, there's like a lot of like backlash from like the kids online to people like me who talk about them. And I just want to say that she's not the oldest daughter in the house, but like she's one of the she's almost 18, okay? She's 17. She's getting ready to graduate high school. Careful what you say. And I'm not being snarky. I'm not being mean. You need to be careful what you say because you can get in trouble. And I'm serious about this. You can get in a lot of trouble for defamation, okay? So you need to... And she took it down right away after she said something to Dad Challenge podcast. And you need to be careful what you say, hun, because... if he was not a good guy, like you can say what you think about DCP, but if he was not a decent guy, you would be in big trouble. Okay? Like, it's a screenshot. A lot of people have seen it. And he showed it on a video today of what you said. And, hun, if he was a bad guy, he could have got you in some big trouble. So just, I know you're mad. A lot of people are talking bad about your parents, especially your mom. And that has to suck. That has to suck that you have a loving family and you don't see or you don't want to see what's going on and you're tired of the drama. And I totally get that. It's hard enough to be a teenager and then you have your parents' drama on top of you and you're online, so you have to go through it publicly. I get that, but you got to be careful, okay? So we're going to watch this video. I am not going to allow much time in between my comments just because I don't want them to claim my video. It's bad enough that I can only do my little face right here, but I have to pause it every once in a while just so I can get how to be in trouble. So let's watch this video and react to it. I already have my thoughts, so it's going to be pretty easy for me to have comments.
Family, so this is going to be a little bit different of a video. We want to sit and explain a couple of things. The number one, or I wouldn't say the number one, but a question that we get a lot is, what is the hardest part of like foster care?
Okay, so like I said, I'm not gonna be able to blur out the kids' videos. I don't have the technology for that because I don't edit my videos right now because I don't have the technology for that. Feel free to give me lessons, guys. So they are talking about a situation where they've answered this question a lot. I don't know why this is like they're answering it again, only a different way, but they're referencing to it. I get it. Let me get Evie off.
An adoption and those kind of things, and we've we've said in the past that we're open to the kids having relationships.
There we go. Okay, I wanted to get the kids off this pause screen. So I wanted to say that there is many posts on Reddit that have video proof, and I could pull it up too, and maybe I'll do that in a minute, but there is at least 2 videos that I'm aware of that Jamie has said she doesn't want to talk about this situation. So this is all about Jamie and her dad, Melinda as well, because Melinda is Jamie's sister and they both have the same dad. Okay. I'm not going to say his name. I'm not going to say his last name. I'm not going to say what I found online, but I'm going to say that the fact that it is personal and they're getting ready to exploit that story, they're going to say, we're not going to tell you, but we're going to tell you in a way that you know enough that you can get an idea of what's happening. But she's going to say that they can make a video if they want, they can talk about it, but they're going to talk about it for them, so there's really no point in talking about it. There's just going to be a big elephant in the room next time Melinda makes a video, or if we see Jamie on camera, there's going to be a big elephant in the room for that. But there's been at least twice that I'm aware of that Jamie has said, I'm sad and I don't want to talk about it. And she has said, I don't want to talk about it on camera. So now they're going to cover their asses and they're going to say, well, Jamie said it was okay, or Melinda said it was okay to talk about it. Still shouldn't talk about it. It is not anyone's business. You're just opening a can of worms for no reason other than it feels like you just did this for views. That's what it feels like to me. You were needing content that day, and yeah, you're upset about it. You rightfully so. This guy made a big mistake. Based on what I've read, big mistake. And he is getting punished for it. But it feels like you are exploiting that. And you don't need that. You get a lot of money from your videos every month. A lot. So I think you were okay without this. You got a lot of views, that's for sure, but you have a lot of backlash for it to the point where you need to turn your comments off.
Relationship with biofamily, as long as it's safe and healthy, and we've talked about a lot of things like this, but some things that we haven't talked about is how the biofamily's choices affects kids. And I remember our second foster placement we ever had, we were in the kitchen making dinner and I had the news on and it was just running in the background. And it was a little boy and he looked over at the TV, he was only 2 years old. And he goes, Mama, Dada, Mama, Dada. And they were showing that his parents were being arrested and it was for the situation of why he came into foster care. And I didn't know that the parents had gotten arrested. And I learned it on the news. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, what? And then sure enough, that was his mom and dad being arrested. And they were showing it. And I learned all about his story and why he got put into foster care actually through that, which was absolutely crazy.
And it's something that literally is no one's business. But it's on the news, and arrest records are public knowledge, okay? Especially in Michigan, which that's where it happened. And so that's perfectly fine that it's on the news and people have a right to know, blah, blah, blah. But this is a situation where people were going to find out and have found out already without you. You don't have to talk about it. You don't have to. All you had to say is, at the most, Jamie's dad made some bad decisions, and that has made a situation where Jamie is sad. And she feels betrayed by his decisions he made in life. And leave it at that. Or you could just say, Jamie has a lot going on right now. We're going to give her some space. And we're not going to talk about it because she doesn't want to talk about it. That's all you have to say. I hate that the kids are being shown in this. I know it's just so we're not staring at them the whole time, but they do it any other time. I hate that they're showing the kids through stills like this. It's like, oh, we got to get the kids in there somewhere because it's only going to be us and Jamie in this video, so we got to get somewhere of the kids. I don't want that.
But one thing that they say is when a child is coming into your placement or coming into place with you through foster care, that it is so, so important not to talk bad about biofamily. And it's something that they taught us in the class, and they said, you know, even when like parents are going through like a divorce, say, or whatever, like that kid is 50%, you know, the mom and 50% the dad, like that's a piece.
Don't talk bad about the bio parent, but here we go. We're going to talk bad about Jamie's bio dad. Woo!
Of them. And if you talk bad about each other or you talk bad about, you know, their bio family, like you're essentially talking bad about a piece of them. And a lot of kids can't verbalize that, but they just like feel icky or feel bad, you know, when it's talked about like that. And so it's just something we've been very considerate of, and we've tried not to do, but it is really difficult, I will be honest, when you get a kid in from foster care and they've been through unthinkable things and you feel really angry inside and you would like to justice to be served. It's extremely, extremely difficult to stay very neutral, and
I agree. I think it would be very hard to keep my mouth shut. And not tell the world on how angry I am about that. I agree. But I went and talked to the internet about it. I'd maybe call my mom. I went and tell your 936,000 subscribers about it. I really wouldn't.
It's okay to say, hey, like, you know, your parents made bad choices without saying, oh my gosh, they're such a bad person and blah, blah, blah. Like, there's just a difference in how you word stuff. That being said, we're not going to share Melinda and Jamie's bio dad situation and what's going on, and we don't feel that it's our place. Melinda or Jamie want to talk about it or do a video on their own, like that's totally up to them. But their dad just didn't make some good choices.
And you leave it at that. You say he didn't make good choices. Done. We're not going to talk about it. End of vlog. Wow, great job. Perfect. But what do? You keep going.
And so with that, Aaron and Jamie went out to Michigan.
Out here, every cat.
Sorry. I don't pay for free YouTube without ads because it's not free. I'm cheap.
And another piece.
Okay, so like this right here, the B-roll of him saying hi on the airplane with Jamie, that's all he had to show. But they're going to show you the entire trip to Michigan, not very much of the actual doings, but the entire trip there. They didn't have to show that. And in my opinion, it's to write it off, because they can write it off on their taxes because it's shown in the video. So they can write off these flights. They can write off the food that they get at the airport. They can write off the truck that they rent, the Subaru that they rented, or SUV, whatever it was. They can write that off. So I feel like that's the only reason that they showed it, but not necessary.
Explain like the baby photos or photos in general.
Yeah, so
why you went out there.
when we were in the foster care classes, it was pointed out to us that any kid going through foster care experiences a ton of loss, right? They're losing their family. They're losing their friends at school because most of the time they change schools. They're losing this, that, and the other, and it's all loss. And so, a lot of that is memorabilia. As you're a kid growing up, your parents typically have a camera and they're taking pictures or video.
Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's video and like...
What's this guy's name?
A lot of fight.
Yes. So I agree. Like, there is a chance for Jamie to get all of her things. Perfect. Glad she can go and get the things that are important to her. Now, this is where I'm going to get a little bit personal with my story because I can relate to this, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit as we go. But the first part is you're going to find out that we're not going to be doing this for very long. This is like literally a 27-hour trip. They're going to Michigan, and then they're going to stay for a few hours, get the things that Jamie wants, and then they're coming right back. Okay? That is a very short amount of time for Jamie to have any closure, to have any time to do anything that would make her feel a little bit more at ease, possibly make it to where she couldn't get all the things that she wanted and had to do it on the fly. I've been there. Now, I wasn't Jamie's situation. I wasn't in a situation where my parents are in jail, because they're going to say it anyway, so I'm going to say that Jamie's dad's in jail. My parents weren't in jail, but my parents were getting divorced. And so instead of keeping the family farm, my dad decided to auction it, and I was given a week notice. And so I had one day, I was in college, and I had one day, and I had to go to the farm and get all my things out that I wanted, and that was it. If I didn't take it out, it was getting trashed or auctioned off. So if it was there, too bad, so sad, you better get it out, and you only have one day to do it, okay? And so I was there, and I had no help. I had a friend that came over, but she was mostly there for emotional support, and I had to go through years of crap that, like, I don't even know. I'm a young adult, and I'm in a situation where my mom can't come over here to help me because my dad's here, because it was a messy situation. So it was where I felt really rushed and overwhelmed. And I had to go through years of things that I didn't know, should I keep that? I'm keeping stupid stuff that now I'm like, why would I do that? But then I realized I didn't get things that were important to me. And then I also have my sister who was out of state at the time, living out of state, and she's asking for things too. So not only that, I'm doing that for her as well. And it's just this whole mess of a situation. And so I do understand Jamie in a way that she had to be very overwhelmed by the fact that they only had a little bit of time to do this. Now, they're going to go to where he's at, the dad, so that they can get his key to his apartment. And most likely, if he is in there, as long as it's being suggested that he's in there, because Erin's going to say, I don't know how to tell Jamie she'll never see her dad again. So that implies that he'll be in there for the rest of his life. So she is not even able to see her dad. Like, the jail won't let him have visitors. That's how bad this is. Like, she can see him on video call, but he's not allowed to have physical visitors at the jail. At least not yet. So she doesn't even have time for that. So even if they would have let him see her, there was, like, no allotted time. Maybe they already knew ahead of time that they couldn't see him. I don't know. But they made it sound like it was a surprise that they didn't get to see him. But, like, didn't even allot time for her to possibly see her dad. They needed at least a 2-day trip out of this, just so Jamie had time. Like, and Jamie has an intellectual disorder. It's ID. She has that. So, for her, I'm sure, like, I have a more neurotypical brain than Jamie does. And I was overwhelmed in a situation that I knew was coming for years, but I was still stressed out when it was happening. To Jamie, this is literally just happened like a month ago, and now she's going to Michigan to get certain things, and she can only take so much because it has to fit in there in a luggage to go to the airport. Just wow. It upsets me.
Things go on and it's scary.
I want to help you.
I appreciate it. That's so sweet of you. I'll miss you. No, I'm not excited about why we're having to make this trip, but I am super excited to be taking this trip with Jamie. I have a caring personality, and I am super excited to be...
I laugh just because it's like, I have a caring personality. I'm going to exploit this situation. But also I'm laughing because it's just like, if you have to say the thing, are you the thing? I'm a caring person. I have a caring personality. Who says that? Like, who outright says, I'm a caring person? Okay. That's good. I'm glad you are. You should be.
Able to just hang out with Jamie.
To feel the need to tell you that.
One-on-one time. Yeah. I'm pretty hungry. My brain's not working. Jamie, you're hungry? Let's get some food.
Okay, we don't care.
Download. Actual destination is Manistee. Traverse City is actually...
Manistee. So now you know where he's at jail. And now you know where he lived. So now you can go on the internet and look that up and see what happened in Manistee, Michigan recently. You can do your research. They're helping you with hints.
Closer drive to Manistee, but it was a lot more expensive ticket. Almost double, actually. They were like
You could have wrote it off.
$1,000 a person. So we're actually flying to Grand Rapids. We're going to rent a vehicle and we're going to drive 2 hours to Manistee. We are going to stay in Grand Rapids tonight and then drive in the morning. So this is a quick 24-hour trip. We're actually flying back tomorrow night.
Not enough time.
Terribly of smoke. Now, I'm not...
He's saying the rental smells like smoke. We're going to skip through this. It doesn't matter. Tell the rental people and get a new one. But it's like midnight, so I don't blame them.
Dogging on it. All right, so...
Wow, what you're seeing right now is
watch
an
this
ultra-realistic AI robotic dog
This is
crafted by
not.
master engineers in Germany. From its lifelike appearance
Okay, that looks
to its
like a dog.
dynamic movements, it boasts an
That's a
incredible
real dog.
99.9% similarity to a real dog,
It's not
powered
the
by
robot.
advanced AI. This
That's not a
robotic
robot.
companion learns your
Not a
commands and
robot.
adapts to you over time.
They're
You guys,
liars.
welcome back to another...
That was going to be a separate video. But they are liars. That is... You're showing me a real dog and saying, it's a robot. It's just like a real dog, because it is a real dog. Sorry. Do you need a room tour for Aaron? I don't think you do.
room tour.
2 queen beds.
Right
I'm going to be
off.
sleeping on this. Floors do not want to stay closed.
Oh, they're haunted.
I don't know whether they've been freaked out.
They're haunted.
For 5:30 Michigan time, we want to get our shower.
Oh, and that's the other thing. You're making her wake up at the butt crack of dawn to go start doing this. Because then you have to drive 2 hours from where you're at so that you can go and do your thing. You have to go to the jailhouse first to get the keys. And then if you were lucky, you got to visit with her dad, which you don't. So the visit wouldn't have been that long. And I know they would have had a limited time anyway. But forget that part. So you're making her get up at the butt crack of dawn. You're going to drive 2 hours to get the keys from the dad, and then you're going to go to the apartment, spend the afternoon to get this, and then you're going to drive her 2 hours back to Grand Rapids, or wherever the heck you are, to get back on the plane, but you're going to have time to go see a movie. You literally have time to still go see a movie, and still get your flight. Maybe Jamie didn't have a lot of things, because I know that Jamie was only there until she had, when she got pregnant with Aurora, that's when she moved out. Maybe she doesn't have a lot of things there. That's very possible. But I feel like she did not need a rush trip. No matter how much stuff she decided to bring. Because I know he collected DVDs. And Jamie also collects DVDs. I know this because you told me. So, and I've seen Jamie's dad's apartment because you're going to show it to me in a minute. But also, you've shown me in the past vlogs that I've seen. And I don't watch very many, but you can look it up. Jamie's dad, Melinda's dad, going to see their dad, reunited with Aurora's grandfather. Those situations, you can see those. And he collects things like DVDs. And Jamie makes a point of saying, oh yeah, he collects DVDs like me. And Crystal even says, oh yeah, you both collect DVDs. So maybe Jamie wanted to keep every single DVD that he had because she likes collecting DVDs and it makes her think of her dad. I feel like it still was not enough time. And you could have gave her some time at her hometown. Maybe she didn't want to go back. I don't know. There's a lot of ifs and there's a lot of leeway. I know I'm giving them a hard time about things and there's a lot of arguments towards it. But it was very rushed. And I feel like just the fact that you're driving 4 hours in a day and you still have time, you it feels like you rush through getting things that Jamie won from the house. And Melinda's not there. You'd think Melinda would want to be a part of this, but maybe she wanted nothing to do with it. Can't blame her. Or maybe she couldn't leave because of her daughter, or maybe she said, hey, I want this one thing. That's all I want. Bring it back, please. Maybe that's the situation. I don't know. It's just weird that it's only Jamie. She doesn't have her sister's support there. Like, even just like the support of each other, sisters being there and supporting each other would have been nice. And doing it without a camera in your face would be even better. Just my thoughts.
First, get dressed, maybe catch breakfast in the lobby at 6. It is a free breakfast. And then we got to get on the road. I haven't looked it up yet, but I believe Manistee is about a 2-hour drive from where we are. So we're trying to be at the jail at 8 o'clock. We're going to hopefully meet with Jamie's dad, and hopefully she'll get to talk to him. We've done a couple of video calls, but yeah. We need to get his keys from him, and then we're going to head over to his apartment, and we're going to get some stuff packed up. Jamie did awesome on the plane. She was kind of nervous, and I will say,
Yeah, it was a bad flight.
on 6 a.m., we need to get on the road, so...
I bought this stupid chair. Okay. I bought this stupid chair. It's a great chair. It's very comfortable, but now I keep getting ads on it, and I'm sick of it. Okay? So, yeah. Welcome to my ads. You click on the chair and you buy it, and now I get ads all the time. I knew how to build the chair before it even came because I kept getting ads on how to assemble it. My phone is watching me.
We are here. We're at Manistee. We're trying to get his keys so that we can go into the apartment.
And he said that he's in jail. So it's like, you already told us. Because like when Jamie first said and was on Reddit, like, what do you think was wrong with Jamie's dad? Because Jamie said she was sad. And then Crystal said something about, yeah, like she's sad about her dad and she doesn't want to talk about it on camera. And I personally thought, oh, I hope he's not sick, because that would be horrible. And I know that he's not neurotypical himself. And so I wasn't sure, like, I hope that he can take care of himself. And it's something that, like, he's at a facility that takes him seriously and helps him. And he gets the right care. And because around my area, it's like we have like great services for that. But other areas I've seen, like, those people fall through the cracks and they don't get the help they need. And they just had to leave it at, like, Jamie's upset. She doesn't want to talk about it. End of story. None of your business. But now we know he's in jail. So, like, that solved, like, that question. Like, well, he's in jail.
And pack up everything that's important that he wants to keep, that the girls want to keep, so that we can take it back.
That he wants to keep. If it's as bad as what I've read, screw him. And what are you going to do? If he's in there for life, as you're going to imply, because you're going to say Jamie's never going to be able to see him again, then screw him.
With us until we
Are you just going to hold all his crap until he dies and then you still have it?
find out more about what's going to go on with him. How you feeling?
I'm nervous.
All nervous. That's understandable. All right, we were able to get her dad's keys. We came to his apartment. We've loaded up our 2 suitcases that we brought with us to save personal mementos, and we're about done. So we...
Can you imagine? Like, and I've been in this situation where I lived, okay, so when my parents decided they were splitting up, and my bio dad made it very difficult to do so. And one of the things is my bio dad was mad, so he decided, instead of keeping the farm that my mom made sure that he could, for several months until he got back on his feet, he decided, nope, I'm auctioning the farm. I don't want it anymore. Even though it was a family farm that was 100 years old and was passed down and down and down. Screw it. I'm getting rid of everything because you made me mad. So, I lived at a funeral home in the city. And so I had 1 bedroom in a funeral home, and I shared it with another person. And then, like, we had another, like, it was like a duplex of apartments kind of thing. And so I had 1 room, and I had to fit all of my life. We lived there from when I was 13 to 20. So there was several years in there that I accumulated stuff, things that were important to me back then, but like when I'm 20, is it really important? But I don't know, maybe it is. I'm kind of numb to the situation. And so I only had so much space to basically move my entire life. And my roommates gave me a hard time about all the stuff I had. And I knew I had a lot of junk. I know I did. But it was hard to say goodbye and separate everything at that one point. And so I cannot imagine only having like 2 suitcases. And they have enough money. They could have easily went to the store and bought another suitcase or 2 if Jamie's like, no, I need all of these things. And you got to be pragmatic about it too. I get it. But can you imagine like the pressure of you have to fit everything you want in these 2 suitcases and that's all you can take? And it kind of, and I thankfully have never was in this situation where I grew up in an abusive home, but I had at least my mom who took care of us, and I didn't have to go into foster care or anything like that. So I was never in the situation where I had to like fill up a trash bag, and I had like 5 minutes to fill up a trash bag, and that was it. That's all I had if I got to do that. But like that kind of echoes, and I know Jamie was in foster care at one point. So, and I know that because they told us. So can you imagine like how that would trigger that memory of you only have this much time and you have to fit all of your crap in this spot, in this suitcase, 2 suitcases, and that's all you get. Can you imagine that? The pressure, that feeling, and you're already upset already?
We have a little bit of time before our flight. We're thinking maybe we'll go watch a movie or find something interesting around here to do.
That's quick.
And then, yeah, flying back home.
I don't know what time their flight was, but that's quick. You get to the jailhouse. Let's say they're exactly on time. You get jailhouse at 8 o'clock. You drove 2 hours to the jailhouse at 8 o'clock. You get to the apartment. Let's say it's 8:30 because it takes some time to be able to be like, hey, we're here for so-and-so's keys so we can get in their apartment. What do you mean we can't see them? Okay, that's sad. And then they're going to drive 2 hours again so they're near the airport. And then they're going to go see a movie. They have time for that, and they have time to be at the airport on time. Wow, that is fast. This is just, I wasn't there. I don't know, but that feels fast.
All right, we are back in Grand Rapids. We drove back here. I wanted to be close to the airport, so whatever we found, we wouldn't be rushed. And so it's about 1:15. I thought Jamie's been in kind of having a rough day. And I wanted to like bring her spirits up.
You think?
So she didn't get the chance. She was at a friend's house when we went and saw Mufasa, the Lion King. And yeah, she really wants to see it. So we're going to go in and we're going to go see it.
I want to see it too. I didn't get to see it. So I have to wait till it's on DVD. That's fine. My theater is better. We have a bathroom, like the next room over, and I can pause it. Take that, Disney.
Quick, before our flight. So our flight doesn't leave till about 7 o'clock tonight. So we got a couple hours. What'd you think of that?
I liked it.
You liked it?
Yeah.
Did it raise your spirits?
Yes.
Awesome.
Now, Jamie's normally kind of quiet from the videos I've seen of her. But she does have like a lot of joy, and she's bubbly, and she's been obviously a lot more quiet in my opinion in these videos. And it's just like, I feel like, don't record these days. Don't record it. It's just let her be her. Just say, we went to Michigan so that she can get some important things from her dad's place. That's all you had to say. You didn't have to show any of this.
We have 2 flights. We're going to fly from Grand Rapids to Chicago, and then we're going to fly on a different flight from Chicago to Phoenix. So we're headed back to the airport. All right, we arrived safely in Chicago. We're in good spirits.
We're going to eat again.
Yeah. That trip, they did not get to see the bio dad, nor are they going to get to see him.
They're not currently allowing.
It's bad enough. This is what they're telling you. He did something bad enough. They're not letting him have visitors.
In-person visitation with him. So we've done some video calls, and we're doing more of those. I'm trying to set it up so Jamie does 1 a week so she can still see her dad. I think that's the hardest part about
Hold the camera straight, Max. I can hear you breathing in the background.
this trip for me, and the realization that I came to is I lost my mom recently, and that loss is still very fresh with me. For Jamie used to talk to her dad every single.
Now, this is something that people are really upset about, is because, like, yes, I understand he's making the comparison, like, you never get to see your parent again, and how that can feel, and how does it feel to be the person to say you're never going to see your parent again. Other than the fact that he's revealing, like, to the viewers that, like, he did something bad enough that he's probably going away for life. I see what he's trying to say, but a lot of people see this as him making it about him. So Aaron is talking about Aaron and how this makes Aaron feel that he had to tell Jamie this. Which you can talk about your feelings all you want, but a lot of people point out, like, this is a lot about making it about him. And then Crystal does her cry. She has a cry, and a lot of people are saying, like, the crocodile tears are fake tears. She's not even really crying, and, like, once again, making it about them, making it about her. So that's why a lot of people are upset about that.
Without fail, every day they talked on the phone for at least a little while, and caught up. They were.
A lot of people are pointing out the fact that she did talk to him a lot, and so they find it weird, the relationship between her and her dad versus her, Aaron, and Crystal, because she does call Aaron and Crystal mom and dad. Jamie and Crystal are only 8 years apart, I believe it is, and we know that because they told us. So they have, like, an odd relationship anyway, just because the fact that Aurora is her birth mom, but so Aurora's her sister, but yet Aurora's her actual biological daughter, and blah blah blah. It's complicated.
In essence, best friends. Not just, father-daughter. They were best friends, and they told each other everything that was going on with them, and then,
Or so Jamie thought.
Or so Jamie thought.
See? And I get it, but this goes back to, you don't talk bad about the birth parents. Like, or so Jamie thought. That's just a dig, Crystal, and it makes you want to look into seeing what this guy did. And it's not hard to find his name. It's not hard to look it up. I will say it's harder to get the inmate information for Manistee, Michigan, which is good. That is something that is making Reddit people look a little bit harder. However, the fact is that it says, if you want information about inmates in Manistee, Michigan, please contact the sheriff's office. Can you imagine how many calls that poor sheriff's office is getting because of this man? Because people want to know why he's in there and how long he'll be there and when his court date's going to be. Can you imagine that? How many stupid calls they're getting? Because people just want to know. And they only want to know because of this video. They probably forgot about it this entire time. And now that you put this video out, a lot of people want to know, like, oh, what happened? I'm going to call and see. Get information because I want to know. I'm a reporter, so I'm going to report this information. Can you imagine? All because they posted this.
And then one day, the phone call stopped, and she could not get a hold of her dad. And she didn't know what was going on. She came to Crystal and I, and she's like, hey, I can't get, in touch with my dad. I don't know what's going on. A couple of weeks passed by, and we still hadn't heard from him.
That's scary. I've had that happen with a friend that I'm very close with. And, actually two. Ben, who I talked about before on my channel, that passed away last year, he was talking to me one day, and then all of a sudden I stopped hearing from them, and I found out that he was on life support and that he was going to die. And I didn't find out until finally his wife contacted me, because I was trying to get a hold of him. Like, I can't get a hold of him, and he lived in Vegas at the time, so it was like I couldn't just go there and check on him, and so I didn't know. So that is scary. And actually his wife has done that before, where she was very sick, and I was trying to reach out to her and make sure she was okay. And she lives in Texas now, and so she was in Texas, and I'm trying to, like, track her down. I can't find her, and she told me she was going to call an ambulance, but she stopped talking to me after that, and I don't know, did she get a hold of anyone? I'm calling hospitals, I'm calling her friends, no one's really responding to me. And then finally I found her, but it was like, oh, I feel bad for Jamie. That had to feel horrible. And I'm sure they were worried too, because I believe these people are decent people. I believe they can be decent people, but they made a mistake making this video, and they need to really cool it.
And we were So I started making some phone calls. We were able to get some information that he, was in jail and facing some charges. So we decided to...
You might as well just say what they are at this point. Just say what they are. Because you can just do like a Google search, look a couple months back and see what's going on. And I get it. I'm basically telling you to do the same thing, but I'm not them. They're basically saying he's facing some charges. You should Google it and figure it out. We're not going to say, but he's in jail and he's going to probably be there for the rest of his life, but we're not telling you what it is. But, Google's a thing. Like, they never tell you to Google it, but they're basically telling you to Google it.
Try to figure out, okay, how long is he going to be away for? And after finding that out, we knew that we had to go and get that stuff. The memorabilia, the pictures, all that kind of stuff.
Once again, having to pause it a lot so I don't get claimed. The fact that it's an apartment as well, he's going to lose all that stuff because he's going to get evicted, because he's going to be gone. He's obviously not paying the rent. Maybe Aaron Crystal can help him pay the rent for a little bit while they make sure they get all of the stuff out that they wanted, but he's going to get evicted and all of his stuff's going to get thrown away. That's why I had to go get it. So there's also that pressure of we don't have another chance to get anything. We can't come back.
And that trip meant the world to Jamie. She's been showing me pictures, but she's also been she was able to get some things from her childhood that meant the world to her. And so I'm glad that she was able to do that. My heart goes out to, both of them though. Like, it's not easy. And it's not easy when your bio family makes choices that affect you being able to see them or you being able to be a part of their life. And
I agree with that. I have a situation with my bio dad, and he never watches my videos, but if he ever did, you made some bad decisions in your life, and unfortunately that has caused your children to not have as close of a relationship as you think we should. And that does impact their choices. His choice does impact how I want to be involved with him in my life. And I also put in effort to speak with him, and he doesn't seem to put the same effort back into it because he's mad because I've made some boundaries. So I totally get this, and I understand that it's hard and it sucks. It sucks a lot because I never imagined I'd be that kind of person who doesn't have a good relationship with my family.
My heart goes out to everyone in foster care. You don't even have to
Yes, I'm making it about me.
be in foster care for your parents to, make certain choices. And it's just sad. And I'm not trying to cry.
The thing that hurt the most, or that was hardest about the trip to Michigan, is there was a point where we were at her dad's apartment, going through stuff, trying to pack it up safely so it would make the trip back. And I realized at that point that I was about to tell Jamie that she may not see her dad in person again. And that's a really tough thing. I started thinking about...
This is the thing that everyone's upset about that I said before, and it's telling us that what he did was bad enough that he's not getting out. And if he does get out, it's not anytime soon.
My mom, and I was like, how do I
Other deals lead.
tell Jamie, how do I tell this person that I love so much and that I care for, that they may not get to see their parent again? Anyways, I tried to film a vlog of some of the fun activities. We did try to have some fun.
You shouldn't have filmed any of it. You should have let this trip be just you and Jamie going to Michigan. Hey, this sucks, but I'm here for you. Nothing is like motivated with money or vlogging, because they're going to say it's not about the money. Okay, fine, but then don't monetize this video. You have the option to do that. Don't post anything about it. Don't say anything. You didn't have to post a thing about this. Just say a quick blurb, because sometimes they do like, well, this is what you missed this week. I know they do. So it's like, okay, then you would just say, Jamie and Aaron made a trip to Michigan. They had nice weather and it was a quick trip, but they're back. And it was hard, but they're back and it went okay. That's all you have to say. Instead, you tell us everything without telling us anything.
Jamie's spirits were really down on the trip, and I totally understand why. I think the realization set in for her that she wasn't going to see her dad anytime soon, or ever again. And in an effort to, bring her spirits up, we went to a movie, we went out and got some food, and I just tried to be there for her. And I just want Jamie to know that we love you, and
Jamie and Melinda are.
I feel like there's something going on with their relationship with Melinda as well. Did you know that Melinda is actually following DCP on Instagram, I believe it is? That's not good. Melinda's their adopted daughter. They actually did adopt her as an adult. They fostered her, so that's why they were able to adopt her. But Melinda was not involved with this. We haven't seen Melinda around the house. I actually feel like Melinda's living with them. Based on what I've seen on Reddit, I kind of feel like she's moved in. Because I know someone has moved into their house that was not planned. It's either her or Alex that moved in, and I don't think it was Alex. And Alex is a whole bag of issues on his own. But it's interesting. I feel like there's some issues there. And they keep forgetting to mention, Aaron keeps forgetting to mention her. And Aaron is one of those people, he seems nice in these videos, but how he has spoken about, past situations, they have their foster son, Tristan, that came back. And they said they hadn't seen him for 7 years. And the reason why they hadn't seen him for 7 years is because he had a drinking problem. And Aaron said, "You're out." And they didn't talk to him for, 7 years until, they got in contact with him again. So I feel like Aaron has this ability to once he says you're cut off until he's not mad at you anymore. I grew up with somebody like that, so I get it. Just a thought. All speculation, allegedly, all that stuff. And for the record, any ads you see while we were playing this video, I have no sponsorships or deals with. It's just because YouTube loves to throw ads at me because I will not pay the fee. Not an ad, but could be.
Heart goes out to you guys, and we love you both so much. And yeah, okay. So to answer the question, what's the hardest part about foster care and adoption and this kind of thing? And it's handling situations or going through situations that you don't have, a say in or a control in, their childhood and things that they've been through and trauma, and you're having all of this a part of your child's life or part of their history of life, and it's extremely difficult to know what bio family to allow in and not, and teach them healthy boundaries in relationships. And there's just all these pieces, I guess, to the entire story and to the entire
pieces, crazy pieces. Ha ha ha.
And I would say if you're currently going through that, pray about it. I feel like a lot of times you will get a feeling on what is safe and healthy and what is a good situation and what are lies and not the truth. And I don't know. So anyways, this is a piece of it.
My best parenting advice that I can give to any parent out there is don't just think about how your choices affect you. Think about how it affects your children.
Okay, so that's the video that they did. Like I said, it's bad if the comments are turned off. So, not good. And they haven't posted in a little bit. So, it's been 2 days. But, not good, friends. Not good. I'm going to see if I can find at least one video of Jamie saying that she doesn't want this to be talked about. Okay, we'll look for it together. But I basically wanted to go through Reddit just so you could see. Want to know a secret? You have to save hours. Blah, blah, blah. That's an ad. Hashtag not an ad. It could be. It's sad that she had a close relationship. He was arrested for something so bad that even they don't want to exploit it. Exactly. It's so weird they want to post a vlog about it to even telling the city her dad is incarcerated, and people are curious. I'm sure I've been found out soon. I'm sure it'll be found out soon what he did. They should have just let Melinda Jamie speak about it if they wanted to. The vlog was definitely not needed. Exactly. Sad for both of them, and it should be private. I agree. They want to make an accusation about it. Yeah, no one should have an opinion on it because they shouldn't know. Shouldn't know at all. No. Someone told you. If you want to scroll back up, they said what he's being charged with. Let's see. I don't see the video on here, and that's okay. I know that I said that I wasn't going to tell you his name or anything like that, but Reddit did. And honestly, you can find it on your own, but Reddit told you, not me. So it just was a bad idea all around, and I felt strong about it, and I feel like it needs to be talked about because this is just ridiculous. And the fact that they have a lot more things going on in their personal life, they didn't need to talk about this, especially with like what's going on with Alex right now, and there's some other things going on in the background that I've heard about. It's just not something they should be like talking about. Like maybe it's distracting for something else, but this isn't a good distracting post. A good distracting post would be like, we're going to go to the zoo or something like that. Like that would be better than posting this for like a distraction post, because I know that they want to pretend that things aren't happening. I do anticipate a video coming out from at least Crystal, who is gonna be biting back a bit and saying like an assumptions video, and we assume this and we assume that, and or like Hater said this, because she's done a couple of those where she's like upset about what people have said about her, and she's addressing like how you guys are so mean and I cried for 3 days because of you, and I'm sure that's what she's doing. She's crying about the response they're getting from this video. They did get some support and love, but they got a lot of hate for it too. And I expect there to be a little bit of a CYA video coming out, or like a section of it, like we can do what we want to basically, and you just need to shut up. I don't care what you say, but I actually do care what you say, but I'm not going to admit that. And once again, just to be clear, my channel is not monetized, so I do not make any money off of this video, so I'm not exploiting anyone that was in this video for cash. And I would also like to say that if you are new here, with that said, feel free to subscribe. And if you feel that you're subscribed but you're not sure, make sure you check, because sometimes Facebook, oh gosh, where are you at, sir? Sometimes YouTube does unsubscribe people, and I've had a couple of people that were unsubscribed, and I believe it was because of YouTube, because they're actually family members, and I brought it up to them, and they're like, oh, I thought I was subscribed. So check that out for me. I appreciate it. Leave a comment. Let me know. Like, even if it's a hateful comment, a comment's a comment, friend. So go for it. Bye, guys. See you later.